This is a First Alert Weather Special Report.
Meteorologist Craig Allen looking at the snow falling outside right now across the city. How about that? Yep, started I'd say somewhere between noon, lunchtime, and into about 2 o'clock this afternoon over the western portions of our viewing area, and then it got to the city anytime after 2, and now it's made its way out across Long Island, and it continues to snow now over most of the area. It is moderate snow. It's 32 degrees outside, with a wind coming out of the south at 10, and you say to yourself, southerly winds and snow? How is that possible? Well, the temperatures have been cold enough over the last little while, for about the last 12 hours or so, and it's actually not going to go down very much more than that. 32 degrees here in the city, may go down another degree or two, and we're in the middle of the day as well. So you know what? The snow that's been falling, and it has been moderate, as you can see, the snow that has been falling has not been sticking to the major roadways at this point. Basically, we see that the snow is going to continue moving from southwest to northeast across our area, and we're going to continue with bouts of moderate snow that will be sometimes moderate, sometimes a little bit heavier, sometimes a little bit lighter. This is what the National Weather Service has mostly for the area. It's north and west of 287, but it also does include parts of Passaic County, Essex County as well. Bergen County is included in this. Not the city, not the 5 boroughs, nor Long Island, nor down the Jersey Shore. It is a winter storm warning in pink up to the north here. That encompasses portions of Ulster County, Sullivan County, but it is a first alert weather day into tonight. Snow, freezing rain, and rain will continue with several inches of snow possible, especially in the northern and western suburbs. Now, this will turn into heavy rain because of that southerly wind that I was talking about before. That's going to bring the temperatures up, first at the ground, and then maybe aloft. So what happens is that we are going to change to rain faster here in the city than the northern and western suburbs, which will take some time to completely change over because that warmer air is going to have to scour out the cold air that's sitting in the valleys of, let's say, northwest New Jersey or portions of the Hudson Valley or interior Connecticut. So that's why we're all very concerned about that wintry mix that'll be around for north and west suburbs during the night tonight. So for the remainder of this afternoon, it's moderate to heavy snowfall. We're all seeing that right now. You saw that on radar. During the evening hours and into tonight, the rain-snow line will start moving from south to north as that southerly wind, or the wind turning actually more southeasterly during the night, will start to bring in somewhat milder air because of the storm track and so forth. We're on the warmer side of this storm again. So the city, coastal sections down the Jersey Shore will go over to rain, and I would think right now that snowfall amounts won't be all that significant. It is a little slippery out there right now in spots, but it really won't be all that significant. However, it's a different story for the northern and western suburbs. Your change will be transitional, going from snow to sleet to freezing rain, and then maybe rain. But I'll tell you something. If you get north of Interstate 84, you're not going to see very much of a change at all. There's going to be a lot of freezing rain. There's going to be a lot of sleet mixed in, and an ice problem continues to be a big problem, even as another round of precip comes in during the day on Sunday. So for most of us on Sunday now, it's mainly rain. There could be a lull. There could be a couple hours where there's a bit of a lull, but it's mainly rain with ice lingering up towards and beyond Interstate 84 in our northern and western suburbs. Watch what it looks like on Futurecast now here. We are in the area that has the whites, the blues. That's the snow. As we go on through the evening, that's what it looks like at around 4 or 5 o'clock. So this moderate to possibly even heavy snow that we're seeing in parts of the area right now will start to become a little more intermittent. But look what's down to the south. You've got a little line of pink. You've got a lot of green. That line of pink is the transition zone where it goes over to sleet and freezing rain and then changes over to rain. By about 6:30 or so, the rain line is now making its way on up to the city. So once this changeover starts to get going, It will continue in a more rapid fashion for our suburbs south and east of the city, and including the city itself as well. The snow in northern New Jersey, Long Island, Hudson Valley, and Connecticut will also begin to change. And look what we've got by about 9 o'clock tonight. Mainly rain. It's kind of a cold rain. The temperature will be going up, but it'll still be a cold rain. But there's no more snow, no more ice expected in and around the city, anywhere south of 80, across Long Island, or down the Jersey Shore, the Garden State Parkway. Where you do see some pinks in northwest New Jersey, that's where you've got sleet and freezing rain still falling. And look at Connecticut. It's still snowing in Connecticut. So that has to start moving up to the north, and it will as we go through the rest of the night. This is a couple hours either side of midnight, and most of us at this point, before we get into the lull, will have changed over to rain. As we get on into Sunday morning now, for about 5 o'clock in the morning, as some of you may be getting up, or it's nice and early in the morning on a Sunday, notice there is more rain than anything else. The green is rain, the yellow is rain, but that's heavy rain, and if you see any oranges in there, you're going to have moderate to heavy rain through the morning hours. But I want you to take a look at the top of your map. From about Liberty to Newburgh, you're following 84 now across the Newburgh-Beacon Bridge, and then over towards Hartford. It's still cold enough for freezing rain. That's what could be very, very slippery as we go through the day tomorrow. It goes right on through the afternoon. I mean, this is 10 a.m. We've got rain everywhere except, again, in the far northwest portions of New Jersey, Pike County in Pennsylvania, the Hudson Valley, again up towards 84, and the northwest hills of Connecticut, the Litchfield Hills. This is interesting here. This is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We've got a map that looks to me as if we were in the month of April. We've got showers and thunderstorms out there, which will all be quite heavy. In some of these locales, there could be lightning and thunder and rainfall that will approach maybe a ½ inch to an inch per hour until it finally starts to clear on out towards the end of the day. This is just a plain old horrible weekend. 1 to 3 inches of snow, primarily on the colder surfaces for a large portion of our viewing area. It's more to the north, 3 to 7, and sleet is included with that. And down to the south, let's say south of 195, really nothing more than a trace to an inch, again, mainly on the colder surfaces. So here's the way we look at this as our first alert weather day for Sunday now. There's still freezing rain up across our northern suburbs, and there's heavy rain elsewhere. The icing in the northern and west suburbs is going to be pretty dramatic. We don't usually see something like this around here. Ice accretion of about 1/4 to a ½ an inch. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Black ice, you know, there's no real such thing as black ice. It's just a very thin layer of glaze, and what you're seeing is the asphalt right through it. You don't even know that there's ice there, and it's extremely slippery. Well, this is ice accretion. So think of ice forming on branches or power lines, and it could be anywhere from 1/4 to a ½ inch thick. Do you know how much weight that adds to power lines and the tree branches? So there's quite a good likelihood here that tree branches will come down, maybe entire trees, and power lines too. I would really be worried about some power outages, especially in the northern and western suburbs on Sunday. Elsewhere, though, as you saw on the maps before, it's rain, it's plain rain elsewhere, and it could be heavy at times. Look at Monticello's number there for the ice accumulation. I mean, you know, how many times do we see that around here? That's something that you would expect to see in the upper Midwest or the northern plains. Elsewhere, it's really not much, but the far northern and western suburbs, be prepared for very, very heavy weights of ice on trees and power lines. There could be a lot of tree damages, and as I said, scattered power outages, and of course, very, very dangerous travel. In terms of rainfall, we're expecting anywhere between 1 inch or 2. This is the graph, and my producer Matt and I were taking a look at some of the other models too. They're all pretty much in line with the rainfall for Sunday being pretty heavy at times, and that could cause local flooding. Now let's jump ahead and go to Sunday into Monday. In yellow, we have a high wind warning. In orange, we have a high wind watch, which may very well get upgraded to yellow, to a high wind warning. And that is because the winds are going to start kicking at about 30 to 40 with perhaps gusts up to 50 and 60 miles per hour after this whole storm moves away. The worst of it will be during Sunday night, right on into Monday. These are wind gusts that we have here, and you can see just how strong they are during that 24 to 48-hour period. We're going right on through Monday afternoon there, and we've got winds that are still gusting over 30 and 35 miles per hour. They don't start dying down until sometime late Monday night and on into Tuesday morning. So for tonight, the snow will change to rain. It stays icy north and west. The temperatures will start to rise with those southeasterly winds, and that's what will save us from a big snowstorm or ice storm near the city and along the coast. Periods of rain. It'll be icy for many of the northern and western suburbs into the afternoon until the temperature starts going up. And going up, it sure will. It'll be up to around 50 degrees during the afternoon. Oh, and before I get to the 7-day, I just want you to, I'm sure you've been hearing about it already. If you've been watching social media, there are so many posts about a potential storm for Wednesday into Thursday. Indeed, all the weather maps do show it. However, they all do show different projections or trajectories for the storm. So the ingredients are there. We really cannot be too hasty in making any kind of call for snowfall amounts. But if it were in the position that we've put there, this would turn out to be our most significant snowfall in quite some time. So for the 7-day forecast, you can see temperatures here are going to be near 50 tomorrow, as I said. Then you're going to be in the 30s on Monday as well as Tuesday. Dry weather for the most part. Wednesday and Thursday we'll be watching again. There is that potential for heavy snow on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday it's still cold. This is going to be a week of many changes, not only here, but all across the United States. There is going to be a lot of weather to talk about, and we certainly are going to get our share. We'll keep you updated with First Alert weather forecasts. We have our next update coming up at about 5 o'clock this evening.
This has been a First Alert Weather Special Report.